Hello, this is Allie with the Perception Trainers, author of the Perception Diet, and today we're going to do part 2 of how to make positive, permanent lifestyle changes. And so in part 1, if you haven't watched that already, pause, go do that, the link is down below. And essentially all we talked about was how instead of fighting the old, what you need to do is figure out how you want to feel, how you want to be instead, and to start to build the new, right? So replacing old habits, replacing old behaviors, replacing old reactions with the new reactions that are in alignment with how you want to feel that still meet the need, right? So understanding that all of your negative habits, all of your negative stuff in your life is meeting a need, right? And it has a positive intention. So you figure that out, then you figure out who you want to be and how you want to be, and then how can I meet that need in my new positive way that's in alignment with who and how I want to be, okay? So part 2. So how we actually end up with new behaviors and changing our lives now that you understand where you want to go and who you want to be. The biggest and most important thing that you need to do is make tiny little changes one at a time, taking tiny little steps towards your goal, okay? So my saying here is, if you want to overhaul your whole life, if you want to overhaul a whole big part of your life, if you want to overhaul something large in your life, you have to stop trying to overhaul the whole thing at once. You can't do it, okay? Because you need to understand that, like I always say, all of your negative habits, everything you don't like in your life has a positive intention. It's there for a reason, okay? So if you just try to rip out the foundations and rip out this whole big, huge part of your life overnight, all of this emotion is going to come up, all of this fear is going to come up, all of this mental stuff is going to come up, and essentially you could deal with it. Some people can. Some people can make huge 180 changes in their life and they can handle it, okay? But that kind of person is a rare kind of person, okay? Because you need to understand that, like I say, there are mental, there are emotional, there are spiritual, there are physical things that are all tied into what you're doing right now. And to try and rip that out all at once is kind of like not that I love this analogy, but it's almost like going from eating McDonald's to a water fast overnight. It's like all of the things that need to get healed in your body are all just gonna come to the surface all at once, and you're gonna feel awful. You're gonna feel totally sick. You're gonna be vomiting. It's gonna be terrible. It's not gonna feel good at all, and it's going to feel like a huge emergency. And like I say, some people, changing like that is what works for them. But like I say, I really think that that's the minority. Most people, instead of going from McDonald's to a water fast, need to go from McDonald's to 2 meals of McDonald's and 1 homemade meal, right? And then once that feels comfortable, you go to 2 homemade meals. And then once that feels comfortable, you go to 3 homemade meals. And you keep it heavy, and you keep lots of ingredients, and you keep it flavorful, and you keep it all these things. And then you can move towards lightening things up. And like I say, you take incremental steps, and you just slowly, surely start to improve what you're doing, moving in the direction that you want to head, just like we talked about before, moving in the direction of how you want to feel, one little step at a time, okay? Another example is my marathon example, is if you say, okay, I want to start running marathons, I want to become like a marathon runner, and you don't run, you haven't run, you're not fit, it's not realistic for you to say, okay, I'm going to get up and I'm going to run 26 miles tomorrow, right? That is a sign that you're not actually ready to make a change, right? If you feel like you need to make these extreme steps, or if you keep trying these extreme steps and then falling back, and extreme steps and falling back, it's because you're not really ready to make a change, all right? When you are ready to make a change, you will understand that taking small steps, doing one thing at a time, is the key to success, is the key to long-term success. So it's no longer a race to get to the end goal, right? You understand that if you want to become a marathon runner, and someone who can be a marathon runner for a long time, someone who can sustain being a marathon runner. You need to build up slowly. You need to build your fitness up incrementally. You need to build your body up incrementally. Then you need to adjust your nutrition. You need to adjust your sleep. You need to adjust kind of like your whole lifestyle. And as you make these little adjustments, all of these other little things shift and go into place so that eventually you get to the place where you're a marathon runner. And by the time you get there, okay, because you've done all these little steps to get there, you've done the little training runs, and then you've changed your nutrition, you've changed your sleep, you've changed your work habits, blah, 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 you're now at this place where you can sustain being a marathon runner, okay? You can sustain your new life, right? Whereas if you just wake up tomorrow and was like, I'm just going to run 26 miles, you might be able to do it for a little while, but then your body's going to break down, you're gonna feel sick, you're not going to have all the other lifestyle components that support that new habit. You're not going to have all the other lifestyle things that you need that support this new way of being. And that is why little steps are the best. Is because as you make little incremental changes, what you're actually doing is building a lifestyle that supports you being who you want to be long term. Okay? Because all the little changes that you make along the way are the things that build the foundation, the things that build the container for the new life that you want. Okay? So say you want to make a change with your health. You want to make a change with your eating. So you understand, okay, I've got some of these self-sabotaging behaviors with my eating that are emotionally based, and I need to learn to meet that need in a new way. And I understand how I want to feel. I understand where I want to go with my diet. I understand where I want to go with my health. I understand how I want to feel. Now, make tiny changes in that direction. So don't start with overhaul my entire diet. Don't start with overhaul my whole exercise. Don't start with shifting to an all raw diet and becoming a runner tomorrow. Start with, I'm going to drink water first thing in the morning. I'm going to drink lemon water first thing in the morning, and I'm just going to do that until that feels comfortable. And then as soon as that feels like normal, like that feels like my new normal, then I'll add another thing. So maybe I'll switch out my old breakfast for a smoothie. And then I'm just going to have lemon water in my smoothie until that feels normal. That feels like my new life. And then maybe I'll switch out my lunch for a big salad, right? So I'm going to do lemon water, smoothie, and the big salad. And then I'm going to do that until that feels like my new normal. And then this way, when emotions come up, when fears come up, when the old habits that you have removed, the emotional triggers that all come up when you start to change your habits, come up, you are so much better able to handle them because it's in small little doses, okay? You're not going to have to completely reevaluate your relationship with food overnight. No, you just have to completely reevaluate your relationship with breakfast, right? And that's a much smaller emotional, mental, physical, spiritual thing to deal with than your entire relationship with food overnight, right? And this is why most people fail at making life changes even when they know where they want to head, right? Is because they know where they want to head and then they jump to the end goal tomorrow. But you don't have the foundation, you don't have the container to hold the end goal. You're not ready, right? So you're always going to fall back to what you did before. So in order to build the container, in order to build the foundation that will sustain the new life that you want, now that you understand what you want and that you need to meet your needs in a new way and all of these things, you understand this stuff, you make small changes. Small, incremental changes, one change at a time till it feels normal, till it feels good, till it feels like your new normal. There's no stress, there's no fear, there's no lack or attack being triggered in your mind or body anymore with that new habit. Then you move on to the next one. And then all the stuff that comes up with the new habit, you deal with that. And then you wait until that habit feels normal. There's no more fear associated with it. And then you do another step. And that is building the container. So by the time you get to the ultimate end goal, which you will, you're ready to maintain it. You're ready to sustain it. You can stay on the raw foods diet forever because you don't have all this emotional stuff that you didn't deal with as you just raced to the end, right? You can stay on your new fitness plan because you're not killing your body. You're not doing it for weight loss. You're not doing it to try and punish yourself. You've changed your entire relationship with your body and with exercise by the time you get to your end goal of this person who exercises every day, right? You've dealt with all the emotional stuff, and that is why making little steps and little changes is the most important thing you can do, okay? So, to recap, you identify what's not working. Identify the need that's getting met. Identify who you want to be and how you want to feel. Identify the new habits that you want to do that align with this new person that you want to be. And then make tiny little changes and deal with the emotional, mental, spiritual stuff that comes up with each little change until it feels normal. And then you make the new change, and then you make another little change. All just moving incrementally in the direction that you want to head. All moving incrementally in the direction of how you want to feel. And so that you build the container. You build the vessel, you build the foundation. So by the time you get to your goal, which you will, okay, you can maintain it. You can sustain it. You've got all the habits and all the lifestyle and all the mental, emotional, and spiritual things that you needed to have in place that you couldn't possibly have known if you try and just jump to the end goal will all be in place. And so you will be able to maintain and sustain, and then it won't be hard. You don't have to struggle to maintain your new lifestyle. It's just easy. It's your natural thing that you do now, right? It's the new way because you took it one step at a time. You built the vessel. You built the container. You built the foundation. And now you can sustain it. Okay? So that is what you need to do. Small steps. Small steps are the way to go. Small steps. Just take little tiny steps. If you really want to change, you figure out how you want to feel, and then you take small steps in that direction, dealing with what comes up as it comes up. Okay? So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I love hearing from you. If you have any video requests, of course I love that. Like, subscribe, find me on Facebook, Perception Trainers, that's the thing I am. And on Instagram, I'm Urban Fruit Bat. And I'll see you in the next video. I think you're awesome. Have an awesome day, and I love you.